There are many social factors that affect how we take part in sport. First, we'll look at some of the factors that affect participation. Then we'll examine why it is that women have been excluded from sport, how increased leisure time has provided more opportunity for people to play, and why behaviour affects both those who play and those who watch. Here are some of the most important social factors that affect how people take part in sport. First, age. As people get older, they become less active. Approximately 33% of 70-year-olds take exercise, compared with 85% of 16-year-olds. Next, gender. Fewer women take part, 57% compared with 72% of men. Other factors are also important, such as education, the influence of family and friends, and tradition and culture. Of all the changes seen in the past 50 years, perhaps the most striking has been the increased participation of women in sport. Historically, women haven't had the same opportunities as men to take part. Today things have changed, and women now have the chance to take part and perform at every level. So why were women excluded from sport? For many years, motherhood and caring for the family at home has been the traditional role for women. It's only recently that it's been accepted that women can combine motherhood with a sporting career. Men have also had much to do with the exclusion of women from sport. In the past, men have argued that sport is too strenuous for women, and they've been instrumental in excluding them from certain sports. Incredibly, the women's 400 metres began in 1964, the 1500 metres in 1972, the marathon in 1984. Men still far outnumber women in positions of influence in sport. Most governing bodies are run by men and have often refused to recognise women's organisations. On the whole, men and women aren't allowed to compete together, but there are some exceptions, like equestrian sports, show jumping or three-day eventing. Class was another factor that prevented women from taking part. Only women in the upper class were likely to have the time and resources to play formal sport. The type of clothing worn at the time affected participation. Towards the end of the 19th century, women wore clothes that weren't suited to sporting activity. Sportswear was similar to everyday clothes, with long restrictive dresses being the order of the day. Here's another exam question for you to try. If you watch sport on TV or read the newspapers, you'll notice that women are allowed to compete in very few matches and competitions alongside men. One good example where they do is the London Marathon. Name 3 other sports where women compete alongside men. Pause the tape now and have a go at answering this question. Okay, here's the answer to the last question. Your answer could have included tennis or badminton mixed doubles and show jumping. How did you do? Don't forget you can get interactive by clicking online at www.bbc.co.uk/revision. One reason why more people take part in sport than 100 years ago is that today we have much more leisure time. Compared with a century ago, people work less, hours are flexible, and more people take early retirement. In 1900, it used to be common to work a 6-day week, but now a 5-day week is the norm. People in work get more holiday time than workers of 100 years ago. There are more unemployed people who are encouraged to make use of sporting facilities. Appliances like automatic washing machines and microwaves make chores easier and allow us more time for leisure. The behaviour of those who take part and those who watch can also affect how we take part in sport. In sports where there's no physical contact, like swimming or athletics, aggression against others is rare. Here, aggression is often focused on improving performance and not directed at other competitors. In contact sports like football or rugby, playing hard and fair is part of the game. It's when aggressive behaviour breaks the rules that problems start. Some people think that violence amongst players leads to violence amongst spectators, but so far there's been no evidence to actually prove this. Here's a reminder of some of the key points you'll need to know about social factors. The ones that influence how we take part in sport: age, gender, education, family and friends. and tradition and culture. Remember the examples on how social change has affected how we take part in sport. The 3 examples we looked at were women in sport, the increase of leisure time, and behaviour. Well done. You've now revised all of the sections in the programme for the written part of the exam. Remember, though, to extend your revision by going to our website, www.